From the WBBZ-TV studio in the Eastern Hills Mall, it's time to play where two teams come together in a battle of wits to determine who will leave with bragging rights. And now, here's your host, John DeShillo, with today's two teams.
Thank you very much. Boy, oh boy, we are honored to have the members of the Gordon Highlanders here, the bagpipers, and they are a part of the Buffalo Niagara Scottish Festival. Charlie, show us that sign because it's coming up August 17th and 18th at the Buffalo Niagara Heritage Village. The website bnhv.org, where you want to find out more information. And earlier in the other game shows that we recorded, the Buffalo Heavies are here. They're going to be out there doing their sporting events, thebuffaloheavies.com. You can find out all about them. But we have here our Gordon Highlanders, Aiden and Dan, and we really appreciate you being here. They're going to be on one of the teams. So, gentlemen, you can go and take your respective spots on the Red X team, and we're going to come back and introduce you to our teams on the Red X side, the Gordon Highlanders. You see them all over Western New York at parades, and we're happy to have them here, and they're playing music, and they've been here performing for us for all of our recordings here. We're happy to have them here. They're playing against the Scottish Festival team, the organizers of the event, the Big Cheeses. And we have over at our guest scoreboard, we couldn't do the show without them, Liberty Yellow ambassadors. Hello, Sheila and Matt. How are you?
Good.
Sheila and Matt, we've talked about how Liberty Cab can take us to Amherst and all of that, but we are having a great summer, aren't we, Sheila?
Yes, wonderful.
It's a great summer.
It
And
is.
Matt, are you having fun this summer?
Never had more fun in my life, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, that's because he's a Liberty ambassador, and they support all of the events. You've probably followed them on Facebook, and you find them online. You get to see all of the events that they support, including this. We're going to do something a little bit different. You know, I talked to each individual team captain individually, but because these teams are together and this all kind of conforms into one, I'm going to bring our team captain from the Scottish Festival team, who's the organizer of the event, out with the Gordon Highlanders team captain. So Scott and Steve, come on out. Steve, I want you to be right here because we got to get a big close-up of you. And Scott, you come on right there because we got to get a close-up of you. And we all notice that we're all in our kilts, so this is very interesting to see. But Scott, we'll start with you because you are the organizer of the event, and this is a big, major summertime destination.
Yeah, it's our largest event of the year, and this is our 35th annual. And we actually have a large team that puts this event together. So our committee's lots of volunteers, and we've talked to the Buffalo Heavies and the Pipers, and we also have a huge community of cultural performers and advisors, and that includes the Schahalian Dance Society, the Royal Scottish Country Dance Society, and Steve Williamson over here is one of our performers. Aside from being a Gordon Highlander, he performs a poem that Robbie Burns wrote way back when, he might know the date, called Address to a Haggis, and we have performances both days for that, and maybe if you entice him, he'll do a little bit for
Boy,
us.
so if I ask him real nicely, and let's see. So Steve, can you give us a little bit of that poem?
I might be able to. First, let me get my dirk. The address to Haggis. Fair for your honest sonsy face, great chieftain o' the puddin' race. Aboon them all, ye take your place. Pinch, tripe, or therum. Weel are ye worthy o' a grace as long as me arm.
How about that, everybody? And Steve, on another edition of Bragging Rights, he does a mad impression of Robert Shaw. Just give us that line, I need a bigger boat.
I think we need a bigger boat.
You know, what? You don't get entertainment like this on the legacy affiliates, everybody. ABC, NBC, CBS, forget it. We're here having fun on WBBZ-TV. All right, gentlemen, you go back to your spot. We flipped a coin, and it looks like the Buffalo Heavies are going to start. We played for points. Let's take a look at the scoreboard that Matt and Sheila are standing in front of. 10 points in the first round, 20 in the second, 30 in the third. You want to get your X's or your O's across, up and down, or diagonal for a bonus of 50 points. Playing for those points. And if you win, in addition to promoting everything and having a great time, you become eligible for 3 large screen LED TVs from Dirt Cheap TV, one of our sponsors here on the show. So we thank you for that. We're ready to go. Okay, so Gordon Highlanders, Captain Steve. With Aiden and Dan. B3, he's going for it. Here it is. What was the warmest January on record in the city of Buffalo? A, 1932, B, 1999, or C, 2018? Warmest. It's been a warm summer in Western New York, that's for sure. 32, 99, or 2018?
2018.
C.
No, it's A, 1932.
Records were set back in those 1930s. Didn't have it now, but we had it back then. Okay, Scottish Festival team, you are next. Where do you want your O to go?
C3, please.
C3. How many private pilots are there in the United States as of 2019? A, 211,000, B, 705,000, or C, 1.602 million? 1.6 million.
We're going to try C.
Going with the 1.6.
No, sorry, it's A.
Yeah, non-commercial private pilots number just 211,000. All right, that was the last question in our little round one. What is the score, Sheila and Matt?
We have red team and blue team both tied with 0 points.
Eggshells on the hash marks. We're going to find out who's going to pick up some points and find out more about the great event. In fact, as we go to break, we're going to put the information up for you with Matt and Sheila ready to take you there in a Liberty Yellow cab to 3755 Tonawanda Creek Road, the Buffalo Niagara Heritage Village, and that is where you'll find the Buffalo Niagara Scottish Festival online at bnhv.org. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Bragging Rights. We're at the scoreboard, and those are the Gordon Highlanders, and we've been enjoying them for a lot of the shows here tonight. Matt is here, Sheila's here from Liberty Yellow Cab. And Matt, we were just talking about the safety of drivers. You know, with Liberty Cab, the drivers really go through an intense background check.
Yeah, they do. So they have to get a police background check from the local police station. They have to get the proper licensing through City Hall. We run motor vehicle reports on all of our drivers to make sure that they have a clean record.
So they have a clean record, and the reason we bring that up is because you may have seen in the headlines and news that safety is an issue with some other ride-sharing services, and that's not the case with Liberty.
Oh, absolutely. And safety as a woman driving with an unfamiliar driver, that's really big, I think.
Yeah, very
with
important.
the background checks.
Yeah, so you know, safety is one of the reasons Liberty Yellow Cab is making a difference. So you ride local in Western New York, and you ride safe.
Yes.
You do. And tell us about the app.
Okay, so we have an app that you can download onto your phone. It is RIIDE. And if you enter promo code RIDELOCAL1, you can get $10 off your first ride.
$10 off. And it's a safe ride, right, Matt?
Always.
Always a safe ride. And here's the website, libertycab.com. Find out all about getting a ride. And you can set up a corporate account and a medical ride as well. And it's safe. And we'll take you to the Scottish Festival coming up August 17th and 18th. And our teams are here on the red side, the Gordon Highlanders. Welcome them back to the show. And they're playing against the Scottish Festival team, the organizers of the big event. Okay. I'm just going through my questions here to make sure we are ready to go, and we are ready to go. And as we just met, Sheila and Matt, we'll find out what the score is going to be. But before then, I want to introduce you to some other members of our team. So why don't you come around, young Aiden, and why don't you come around here, Chris? You come around to here. We'll see that everybody's all dressed up, ready for the occasion. And Aiden, we talked to you in a couple of other shows. You've just been doing this for a little bit. Is there a favorite song or a favorite piece of music that you like to play on the bagpipe?
One of my favorites is probably Green Hills of Tyrol. I don't know why, I just really like that one. But I think it's a cool piece. And also Scotland the Brave. I know that one's pretty iconic, but both two of my favorites.
How do people react when you play? Because we talked about how emotional the music is, and when it is something that's inspirational, they're brought to tears.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they'll cheer and stuff, and they'll clap, and they'll think it's really cool. Other times they cover their ears.
Well, it is an interesting instrument, I must say, and for some it's an acquired taste, but I just think it's terrific, and thank you for what you do.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's my favorite instrument, definitely.
And you play a lot of them.
Yeah, a few, but
it's all good. Well, thank you, young Aiden. All right, and Chris, you're happy to have the Gordon Highlanders here, and your involvement with this event goes way back.
Yeah, I started with the festival. I'm also a Gordon Highlander. I played the tenor drums in the band. I've been a Gordon Highlander
That's
for
right.
10
I've seen you
years.
at parades. Yeah.
Gordon Highlander for 10 years. One of the nice things of the festival coming up this year is one of our piping judges is a world champion piper from Dunedin, Florida. And this past year, they won the world championship in Scotland. And he's coming in Saturday and Sunday, and on Sunday, he's doing some special workshops for pipers in the area, which you only could get in the Scottish Festival in Buffalo, New York.
That's terrific. And you don't have to be Scottish to go. What nationality are you?
Well, I'm half Irish and half Scottish.
Half Irish, half Scottish. What does that mean?
Well, the Irish half of me likes to drink. The Scottish half of me hates to pay for it.
Oh, okay, very good. All right. Like I said, you can't get entertainment like this anywhere else. Okay, there you go. All right. Thank you, Chris Hitchcock. And let's take a look at the score. What is it, Matt and Sheila, as we get into round two?
So we have a tie 0-0 for
Oh
both
my,
teams.
okay, so there's nothing on the board. So we got to get some points up. Each question's worth 20 points. Steve, where do you want your Red X to go?
D1, please.
D1, we're going to do 4 questions in this round. If you count all licensed pilots in this country, okay, we talked a little bit about it in the last segment, how many would that add up to? All licensed pilots. A, 358,000. B, 594,000. Or C, 731,000. So 358, 594, or 731.
We're going to say B.
B.
The correct answer is B.
Nice.
20 points are up on the board. Just under 600,000. Okay, Scottish team, you got to get some points up too. What do you got there, Scott?
Let's take A4.
A4. If you invested $100 in Microsoft in 1986, and I hope you did, when it first came on the market, how much would that be worth today? A, about 38 grand. B, about 79,000. Or C, about 260,000. Microsoft, 1986, you invested $100. 38, 79, or 260,000.
We're going to say C, please.
The biggest number on the board, C, Sheila.
Unfortunately, it's A, 38,000.
30, okay. I would have said the same thing. You know, I'm reading the questions with you for the first time. Makes the game more interesting. I would have thought the big one, too. Yeah. Well, we can invest in beer, probably from the New York Beer Project. That's always good, and it makes you feel good. All right, Gordon Highlanders, you are next. Steve, where do you want your Red X to go?
Let's go with D4.
D4. Shifting gears and shifting holidays, A Christmas Carol. When was it first written? A, in 1829, B, 1843, or C, 1872? A Christmas Carol.
Pretty old. Should we go with the oldest one, maybe? We'll say A.
A, 1829.
I'm sorry, no, it's B, 1843.
1843. It was a very good year, I might add, for this beer, too. All right, we have another question, last one in this round for the Scottish Festival team.
We'll try A4 again.
A4. Charles Dickens, of course, wrote A Christmas Carol. How many books did Dickens write overall? A, 17, B, 34, or C, 78? How many books did that Charles Dickens write?
I'm going to say 2 or not.
1738 or
We're
78?
going to say 17.
17, A.
No, it's B, 34.
34 he did. All right, so we got another history lesson. Didn't get points up. What is the score as we end round 2, Sheila and Matt?
So we have the red team with 20 and the blue team with 0.
Oh my, okay, so the Gordon Highlanders, you're in the lead. We'll see if the organizers of the event can pull us through as we celebrate the Buffalo Niagara Scottish Festival. Back right after this.
Bragging Rights on WBBZ-TV, your hometown television station, will continue after this from our sponsors.
Welcome back to Bragging Rights, the sound of the Gordon Highlanders. So everybody in the audience that's here can give them a round of applause. Really appreciate them being here. Appreciate you being here on Bragging Rights. Welcome back with our hometown teams, the Gordon Highlanders, here in person in the red side. You see them all over West New York, and they're playing against the individuals who organize the Buffalo Niagara Scottish Festival. The organizers are here on the blue side. All right, so I'm going to bring out Carl, and I'm going to bring out Dan, so that you can see all of the great kilts and costuming that we've got here. So, Dan, you know, now that you're all dressed up like this and ready to go, does that inspire you more when you put on the kilt and the whole look?
Oh, to play the bagpipes?
Yeah.
Absolutely. When it comes to playing something or even just practicing at home, there's been like a time or two where I've put on my kilt just to practice the bagpipes in my own house when no one else is around. It's just
That's
it
okay.
Makes it better. It makes it better.
Makes it better. What's the favorite song that you like to play? Ask that of Aiden.
My favorite song to play is probably a tune called Caper Fay, which you can actually hear the Gordon Highlanders play when we compete at the Amherst Games. So
You'll hear that when you go to the Scottish Festival.
when we go to the Scottish Festival, you'll hear us play that.
All right, that sounds great. And so, Carl, tell me about your connection to this, and we want to talk a little about something for the event.
Well, I'm involved with the museum as an employee, and one of the great things that we have is the village. Number of buildings that have been moved from other places in Amherst, historic homes that go back into the 1800s. We have a farmstead with live oxen, chickens, ram, sheep, and a whole lot of things to see and watch, and it's a lot of fun.
I know the map is on the website in case you haven't looked at it. You kind of see where all the buildings are. So when you're going to the Scottish Festival, it's not just food and games and music. You really are getting the whole experience.
Right, and we're hoping to have some good docents in the building so that not only do you go in the building, you get a story that who lived there, what was it like.
Interesting. And these are all authentic buildings that are one of a kind.
Yes, they're gorgeous, really.
All right, well, thank you guys for being here. Go back to your place on the team. And over there on the guest scoreboard from Liberty Yellow, we have Matt and Sheila. Sheila and Matt, hello. There they are, ready for round number 3. What is the score as we get into our final round?
So we have the red team with 20 and the blue team with 0.
Oh, boy. Okay, so we got to get 30 points at least on the board for the Scottish Festival team so they can save face, so they can show up and have their haggis. Notice they didn't bring me any haggis, anybody. What? Anyway, they said you're welcome. I've never had it, and I'm determined to try it now. All right, Gordon Highlanders, you are up next. Where do you want your red X to go?
D2, please.
D2. Here's your question. How much in net sales did Amazon make in 2018? A, 185 billion, B, 232 billion, or C, 367 billion? Amazon, 2018. 185, 232.
We're going to say C.
You're going to go with the big number, C.
I'm sorry, no, it's B, 232
Boy, you're
million.
tricking us out here, Phil, with these. Yeah, 232 billion. Nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure. Okay, Scottish Festival team, maybe you could buy a kilt on Amazon. Just saying.
And you can buy haggis at the festival, so you know.
I can?
Yes.
All right, I will.
Okay, we'll try D2.
D2 says, Mr. Scott, in 2017, how many Apple Watches were sold? A, 3 million. B, 11 million. C, 18 million. Those funky Apple Watches. 3, 11, or 18?
We're going to try C.
C.
C is correct.
Wow, they got 30 points on the board. 18 million sold in 2018. The Apple Watch accounts for more than half of all watch sales. I'm not a tech guy. I can barely wind my own. We have an Apple Watch. I think we have it right there. Look, Steve has it right there on the look at Steve. He's right. He's one of the billions that are there. He reads all his lines from it. Okay, Gordon Highlanders, Mr. Steve, with your Apple Watch, where do you want your X to go?
I'm going to stick with D4.
Sticking with D4. In 1966, Howard Hughes, very eccentric, he moved to the Desert Inn in Las Vegas. He rented out the top floor of the hotel until the owner decided to evict him. What did Hughes do then? He was a crazy guy. Did he A, move to the Bahamas, B, bought the hotel, or C, he refused to move and sued the owner? Howard Hughes.
B, he bought the hotel.
B.
B is the correct answer.
Yes, it was the case. And I don't think it's standing anymore, Phil, but it was the Desert Inn. Yeah, where Sinatra used to go. You remember the Sinatra? Yeah, of course. I met him. You met him? Yeah. No. Look at Chris. No haggis, no Sinatra. Okay, we have another question up. Where do you want your O to go?
Well, let's go A2.
A2. Which of these famous people is not, I say not, buried in Forest Lawn in Buffalo? A, President Grover Cleveland. B, President Millard Fillmore. C. William Fargo of Wells Fargo? Not buried. President Cleveland, President Millard Fillmore, or William Fargo of Wells Fargo.
We're going to try A.
Are you sure?
No, I don't think we're sure, but I think we all have different answers. We'll try
They're going
A.
to try it and see if it sticks. A.
A is the correct answer.
Yeah, there you go. President Grover Cleveland, buried in Princeton Cemetery in Princeton, New Jersey. All right. We have that other next big question coming up, and it's yours to pick. Where do you want your red X there, Mr. Steve?
A1.
A1. After Irving Berlin's wife died, what action did he start? A, he became a recluse for several years. B, he contracted with a florist in Buffalo to have a fresh rose delivered to her grave every other day for 2 years. Or C, he remarried within a few months. Irving Berlin became a recluse, had flower rose delivered every other day, or
I'll say B.
remained recluse. You say B? He says B.
B is the correct answer.
How sweet.
Yes.
It is a single white rose delivered to her grave every other day for almost 13 years until he remarried. Interesting. All right. We're continuing on. Do we have time for some more questions, Mr. Warren? We have the last question in the game going to you, Scottish Festival team. Where do you want your blue O to go?
Let's blow it up with C4.
Blowing it up. Teresa Bellissimo. Remember the great Bellissimo family? When did she first prepare the famous chicken wing for her son on that infamous Friday night? What year did she make those wings? A, 1961, B, 1964, or C, 1967? And then history was made forever. 61, 64, or 67? No haggis wings.
Yeah, we're going to try 64.
64.
64 is correct.
B,
Yes.
30 points. Hot sauce on the side. Let's get the final score as we wrap up with the Buffalo Niagara Scottish Festival teams. Sheila and Matt. Matt and Sheila.
In a wild turn of events, we got 90 for the blue team, 80 for the red team.
My
Blue team
gosh,
came out
look,
on
the
top.
blue team, they have redeemed themselves with a 10-point win. Been trying forever, Chris Hitchcock. You are the bragging rights champs. Congratulations. We're not sending anybody home empty-handed. For everybody that's participating in our shows here at WBBZ, we're giving you 2 tickets to go and enjoy the events at Ransomville Speedway, which you'll do, of course, after the Scottish Festival, and a $10 certificate to the Barafata family of restaurants, which include Old Man River, Prima Pizza Pasta, and Mississippi Mud. So enjoy some sweet potato fries. Hey, all of our friends over at Liberty Cab, Matt and Sheila, Sheila and Matt, thank you very much for being here and wearing that kilt so elegantly, Matt, for all of these games.
Course.
Liberty Yellow, ride local, ride safe, libertycab.com. And all of our teams, thank you very much. We're going to bring Dan and Aiden out. We're going to end the show. Remember, folks, the Buffalo Niagara Scottish Festival coming up August 17th and 18th. Take it away, the Gordon Highlanders.